Never ask a woman her age, a man his salary, and the Brits where their museum artifacts came from. Because almost every item in the British Museum is stolen from the different countries they ruled. Like the Elgin marbles, a collection of classical Greek sculptures, Hoa Hakananaya from Orango, Easter Island in Chile, Benin bronzes from Nigeria, and the Rosetta Stone, inscriptions from 196 BC Egypt. But none is more famous than India's Kohinoor, which was taken by deceit from the son of Maharaja Ranjit Singh around 1850 by Queen Victoria. After the death of her great-granddaughter Queen Elizabeth II in September 2022, who had adorned the diamond at her coronation 69 years earlier, the soon-to-be crowned King Charles III wanted his bride to wear it too.
Camilla, my dear, you must wear Grandma's Kohinoor crown at my coronation.
This irked the Modi government no end, who even thought of stopping the ongoing trade talks with Britain as a repercussion, and started a clamor to return the diamond to its original owner with hashtag Kohinoor trending on Twitter. The sustained pressure by the Indian government and an enraged public finally made the royals change their mind.
Oh well, I think I should wear the crown of Queen Mary instead.
But not a word from the stiff upper lip Brits to return it. Which is why RPG chairman Harsh Goenka's outrageous idea could work. First, invite Rishi Sunak to India. Then while he is stuck in Bengaluru's notorious traffic while visiting his in-laws, kidnap him. Replace him with his doppelganger, cricketer Ashish Nehra as UK Prime Minister, who will pass the bill to return the Kohinoor. Lol. India's case for the ownership starts with the fact that the diamond was mined in Kollur of present-day Andhra Pradesh's Golconda area. The stone, when it was first discovered, was a massive 793 carat diamond. Believing it to be a sacred omen, the Kakatiya dynasty CE 1214 had it installed in the left eye of goddess Bhadrakali's statue in a temple. A few decades later, it so happened that Delhi's powerful Sultan Alauddin Khilji's army was already nearby raiding Devagiri and turned his attention to the prosperous Kakatiya king Pratap Rudra in 1308, acquiring the grand diamond for his master. The diamond stayed in Delhi for a few centuries, first with the Khiljis, then apparently got passed on to the Tughlaqs, Syeds, Lodhis, and finally Mughals in the 16th century. But after the Mughal Emperor Humayun was beaten by Sher Shah Suri in 1540 at the Battle of Kannauj, Humayun fled with the diamond, and for the first time it left the land of what is today modern-day India. The precious stone was given by Humayun to the Persian king Shah Tahmasp in exchange for giving him an army with which he reconquered Delhi. The history of the diamond for the next 100-odd years is a little murky. According to some historians, it was sent by the Persian king who was a Shia to the Shia rulers of Ahmednagar in Deccan as a gesture of brotherhood. But doing that is akin to sending something from Earth to Mars in present-day parlance, with no confirmation that it would reach there safe and sound. Further, the mixed blood Timurid Mughals themselves had Shia blood in them, so that explanation seems unlikely. But what we do know is that 100 years later, a diamond of similar shape and size appeared in the bazaars of the Deccan. It gets curious here because a gentleman named Mir Jumla is documented as having possession of it. But the colloquial meaning of the Urdu word Jumla means storyteller or fact twister, so it is likely the person is apocryphal and probably never existed. Anyhow, the next we know is that the diamond finds its way into the hands of Shah Jahan in the last years of his rule, where it got its first name, the Great Mughal Diamond. Either Shah Jahan or Aurangzeb, the history is not quite clear, calls to his court a Venetian highly skilled at the art of cutting jewelry. Cut this throne so that it shines like the stars. Yes, Jahanpana. However, as the diamond had many minerals trapped inside, the Venetian grinded away at it until all its flaws were gone, reducing the weight to 186 carat, which infuriated the emperor, who promptly had him jailed and fined 10,000 rupees, a princely sum in those days. We pick up the story almost 100 years later in 1738, when the newly crowned Persian king Nadir Shah attacked the crumbling remnants of the Mughal Empire. He ransacked Delhi and stole all the treasures he could lay his hands on. But somehow he didn't know about the great Mughal diamond or couldn't find it. That is, as the legend goes, until the famous courtesan Noorbai told him about it during a riotous celebration of his victory.
Pardon my insolence, Your Highness, but even as you have everything, you still have nothing. The diamond that the king has hidden under his turban is nothing like you have ever seen.
With the fighting over and peace treaty signed, Nader Shah had to devise a clever scheme to take the diamond from Muhammad Shah Rangila. In my country, the two kings exchanged turbans as a gesture of brotherhood, and so became Nader Shah the new owner of the diamond, to which he gave its Persian name that still exists today. Koh-i-noor, Mountain of Light. Nader Shah was assassinated within a decade, and the Kohinoor passes on to the subsequent rulers of Afghanistan, until the last of them, Shah Shuja, is captured by the King of Kashmir, much to the grief of his wife, who flees with the diamond, straight to the court of Maharaja Ranjit Singh of Punjab.
I have come to your court as I hear you are a man of great courage and valor. Rescue my husband, and this fantastic Koh-i-noor diamond will be yours.
Thus, after the victory of Ranjit Singh over the King of Kashmir, the diamond returns back to its country of origin, staying in the Sikh kingdom for 40 years. But once Ranjit Singh died, his kingdom weakened and the British defeated the Sikhs in the two Anglo-Sikh wars of 1845 and 49. His son Duleep Singh, just a minor of around 11 years at the time, was brainwashed and converted to a Christian Englishman. Sometime during this period, he handed over the Kohinoor to his English masters. So did he give it willingly or was it stolen? This is the main bone of contention between the UK and India. Under modern international law, stolen things should be returned. But the 1849 Treaty of Lahore, following the British conquest of the Punjab, states,
The gem shall be surrendered by the Maharaja of Lahore to the Queen of England.
So did he have a choice, especially as his mother was being held prisoner by the British? Duleep was later exiled to London around the age of 16, so that the Sikhs would have no leader under whom to rally. Where the Queen took a fancy to him, and he was royally treated and even given a pension of £25,000 a year and stayed in castles. It is reported by British historians that sometime around then, Duleep Singh formally gifted the Kohinoor to Queen Victoria. It's my great pleasure to hand it over to you, my sovereign, who wore it proudly on her throne, the first time any woman had adorned it. By this time, the Kohinoor was once again polished and reshaped in London to what it looks like today. But in the process, the 186 carat diamond was reduced to 105 carat. When Duleep Singh grew older, he was full of remorse for what he did and wrote multiple letters to the Queen. The diamond belongs to me. You must return it forthright. In recent years, museums are returning even stolen antiques they had bought from the black market. Germany gave back to India the 10th century statue of goddess Durga. Canada returned a 900-year-old statue called Parrot Lady. The US recently returned 200 stolen items worth $100 million, while Scotland returned a 14th century Indo-Persian sword and an 11th century carved stone door jamb. Other countries are beneficiaries as well. Germany returned 22 Benin bronzes to Nigeria as part of a larger agreement to send all 1,130 looted items. A Belgian museum gave back over 84,000 artifacts to the Democratic Republic of Congo. France returned the doors of the Palace of Abomey, royal thrones and warrior dance staffs among 26 artifacts to Benin. But the British have only given excuses. I don't believe in returnism. If you say yes to one, you will find the British museums empty. Instead, they are proudly displaying it as a symbol of conquest in a permanent exhibition at the Tower of London immediately after the coronation. Items on display may include other Indian jewels stolen by the British as well, like Timur's ruby, a rare 361 carat stone, and the 55 carat pale yellow Sansi diamond. But the Kohinoor is most popular, and even Afghanistan, Pakistan and Iran are trying to get their hands on it, claiming it to be their property. But forget returning it. The British are not even doing us lip service. An apology showing genuine remorse might work best as a significant gesture. But would an apology be enough? And will England ever return the Kohinoor? Will Prime Minister Narendra Modi's efforts in forcing England to repatriate the jewel pay off? Please comment. Bisbo's limerick. The stolen diamond, India's pride, more precious to it than any bride. It would be a crime if not at this time the Englishmen do not their morality abide. You will also find these sources listed in our video description section.